Hello good people wherever you are. Welcome back to Teacher Younger YouTube channel. It has been long since I've posted. I'm really grateful for the subscribers which I have, because of you, my employer, the TSC, was able to acknowledge what I do. They posted me in the Teacher's Image magazine as Teacher Younger YouTube channel, the YouTube channel teacher. So I'm grateful today. Today we have changed our channel. Today we want to be talking about mathematics or chemistry. What I want to talk about today is about the curriculum, CBC, curriculum based competency based curriculum. I want to just inform parents out there, because now students will be this next week. Students will be moving from year 6 to year 7, and some parents outside there don't know what CBC is all about. So today I just want to expand your knowledge about the CBC. So first, CBC, as I stated earlier, CBC, the full meaning of CBC is competency-based curriculum. Competency-based curriculum. So I'll start by defining what is competency. Competency is the ability to apply appropriate knowledge, skills, values, attitude to successfully perform a real life task. So you apply the knowledge which you have, you apply the skills which you have to perform a real life skill. 844 was not designed to instill skills. 844 was just an exam-oriented system. It was an exam-oriented system. So how is CBC? Now it changes. Now it's not 844. As you can see from my background, this is how the system will be organized. First, we'll start with early year education. Early year education, which will be taking 5 years. And we have pre-primary school, which is taking 2 years. That's PP1 and PP2. Then we'll have lower primary school. That's grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. In grade 3, they'll do an assessment. That assessment will be called KEA. And the KEA is just an initial, which means Kenya Early Years Assessment. And the parents who are outside there, who have students who are in 9 years, 10 years, I think they have done, they know that. So that will be, they'll do KEA. Then from early year education, they move to middle school. Middle school now involves upper primary, which will take 3 years. And upper primary is grade 4, 5, and 6. Then now, where next year they'll be going to is lower secondary, which will be 3 years. That's grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. For middle school, with 3 years, they also do another assessment. Middle school, we have said upper primary. After taking those 3 years, and that's the first exam which they are doing this year, it's called Kenya Primary School Education Assessment. Now this one has changed from KCPE. Now instead of having KCPE, they'll be doing Kenya Primary Education Assessment, KPSEA. Then that is what now it will make them to transition to now junior secondary. Junior secondary, as I've said earlier, they'll be in grade 7, 8, and 9. At grade 9, they'll be doing now Kenya Middle Year Assessment at grade 9. That represents now lower secondary, which will be taking 3 years, which I've said 7, 8, and 9. Grade 7, 8, and 9. So students will be taking 3 years in lower secondary. Though there's still an argument whether the students should be accommodated at high school level, those who will be proceeding to grade 7, or they should remain at primary. But as the minister had indicated, by next year we'll know exactly if the students will remain in primary, those who are supposed to proceed to grade 7, or they'll come to the high schools, which, because the high schools also, there are some rooms which were created to accommodate the students who will be coming to grade 7. From grade 7, now the students will go to senior high school. Senior high school, now here, there'll be specialization. Junior high school, they'll have a wide range of subjects. They'll be covering 12 subjects. And thus 12 subjects will be the compulsory subjects, and also there'll be optional subjects. And the best thing about CBC also, native language or vernacular language is also is something which you can, it's taken as an optional subject. So if you're a Kikuyu, you can do Kikuyu as a language. If you are a Luo, you can do Luo as a language, provided you want to read as a subject. So that's the best thing which I loved about the CBC. Senior high school now here you'll specialize now. If you want to go to arts and sports science, you'll take a career path of arts and sports science. And arts and sports science will be involving performing arts and visual arts, like video shooting, photography. Performing arts involves acting. That's if you're good in that area. Then there's also social sciences. Social sciences now will be involving languages and humanities. Languages, if you want to be a media person, a newscaster. Humanities, you want to be a lawyer, like history and CRE, that's now your path. Then the last path, if you are good at sciences like maths, chemistry, you'd go to the STEM path. STEM will be involving science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So now here we are not forcing, the student won't be forced just to do overall things. Maybe you're not good in maths and sciences, so you can, and you're good at visual arts or social sciences, you take the path which you want. Some parents are complaining about the CBC that it's more of expensive, it's expensive. But we usually say, you think globally, but act locally. I think the problem is coming with the teachers who are trying to apply the curriculum. Because as in, even if you're supposed to understand, because the main thing is about bringing that creativity. So those parents, those teachers, don't tell a parent to bring something which you know is expensive. You think globally and act locally. Try to think of something which they can get. Like if you want the students to make a car, use available resources. Don't make it into a money-minded business. Don't try to create money out of it. So that's the main thing. CBC doesn't have a problem. It's the people who are implementing the CBC who don't want to act locally. Let me tell you the advantages of CBC. At least the advantages of CBC. CBC first, its learners are focused. It makes learners to be focused. When you tell a learner, go and make a bicycle using any resource, the learner will be focused and he or she becomes focused. Number two advantage of CBC is it balances between formative and summative assessment. What's the difference between formative and summative assessment? Summative used to be, you're tested after a long period of time. You're just tested when you have finished. Assessment is done at the end of the learning process. You're being tested at the end of the learning process. Like 844. You learn from class 1 to class 8. Then KCPE, you're tested in 4 days. 4 days, that's summative assessment. So that maybe on those 4 days you are not on your good level, but class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you are good. So CBC now, there'll be formative assessment. There's school year report. The teacher tests you every day. Then the exam which you do will also be graded with the final exam. So that is formative assessment. So you don't, judge a student with just 4 days. You judge him every day with this capability. That's number one advantage of CBC. Number three, sorry, also it instills values on students. Nowadays we have mugging, we have a lot of bad things happening because the education system did not instill values to our students. So the CBC will be in any topic. There is a value you are supposed to instill. Like if you are teaching a topic in maths, also you are supposed to include in your lesson plan how that child can have love, can have honesty, can have unity, can have patriotism, can be a person who is respectful, can be a person who is integrity. So it's not only about the mathematics also. You also CBC, the way the curriculum has been designed and the way we are told, there's a way you are supposed to instill the values. Those are the advantages. Also competency, skills. You're instilling creativity into students. Finally, I think I'll finish with the disadvantages of 844. Number one disadvantage of 844 was the disconnect. Why 844 wasn't? There was a disconnect between the school content and the world of work. Whatever you are learning, you cannot apply it outside there. That's why 844. That's my own opinion. I think 844. That's why it wasn't working, because there was a disconnect between what the content which you are being taught and the world of work. Because you know all the fractions, but now you have been employed. You want to do. You have not to be told how to do what you are supposed to do in that workplace. That's why when I'm saying like values. Values are very important things at our workplace. When you have integrity, when you have peace, when you have patriotism, like patriotism, you care about your country. If you care about your country, you want to be littering all around papers. You want to be littering because you don't want to dirtify your environment, and your environment is your country. Those are not things which have been inculcated in the 844 system, but CBC has brought up these things. Another one, the last one, is the disadvantage. It's more of exam oriented. 844 was more of exam oriented, and education is not about exams. Education is more about trying to create a very productive human being. And productive human being should have values, should have skills, should have competencies, and should have the content or the knowledge. I hope this content has really widened your mind, and I'm really thankful for those who are following Teacher Yonga YouTube channel. More content are coming. It was long since I posted a video, but now we are here and we'll be very consistent. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to the Teacher Yonga YouTube channel. More contents which will add value to your life.